Here we go again with another story about race in sports. But this one is a little bit different. This isn't a story about mythical racism. I don't believe there was any malice in what was said here, but I do think they missed the point in this conversation. I'm bringing this up because it shows the mindset of people like Shannon Sharp, or in this case, Terrell Owens and Hugh Douglas. Now, as you guys know, Shannon Sharp is captain of the Woke Squad. The jury still out on Terrell Owens. I can't think of any examples of him being an SJW, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll just call this a case of being uninformed. Let me break down the scenario and I'll show you the clip of what was said by Terrell Owens and Hugh Douglas. Deion Sanders is the head coach at Jackson State, an HBCU in Mississippi. Now, in terms of college football programs, Jackson State near the bottom of the barrel. It is considered a major program at the SWAC level, but they should not be able to compete in recruiting with major college football programs, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the Florida States. Travis Hunter is the #1 recruit in the country. He's from Sewanee, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. He had verbally committed to play at Florida State next season. That is, until Deion Sanders got involved. When you think about it, what Deion Sanders was able to pull off was incredible. Hell, it may be unprecedented. He was able to convince the #1 recruit in the country, the best player in the country, to pass on Florida State for Jackson State? Can you think of another time that something like this has happened? I don't know much about recruiting in college football. Some of you guys know a hell of a lot more about it than I do. But most of the time, the top recruits in the country are going to the top programs in the country. These are kids with NFL aspirations. You're more likely to get NFL attention to become a draft pick when you're playing at a program that's on national TV every week, that's competing for conference championships, national championships. Now, I have my theory as to why Deion Sanders was able to pull this off, but I want to show you guys the thoughts of Shannon Sharp, Hugh Douglas, and Terrell Owens first. Believe it or not, and this may be the first time that I've ever said this on the channel, I actually agree more with Shannon Sharp than Hugh Douglas and Terrell Owens. Roll the clip.
You tell him no. I mean, he's competed at the highest level. He's been great on every level, and he says, "I believe your son has the ability to play on the next level, and I would love to have that opportunity to help him reach that goal." You're talking about somebody that's credential beyond credential. He's a Hall of Famer. He's universally regarded as the best corner to ever play, and he says, "I believe your son can play on the next level. I want to help him achieve that goal, but I also want to help him achieve becoming a man."
Yeah. And not only that, Shannon, he said something that really resonated with me. Somebody that speaks his language. Somebody that he could communicate with on a level you can't communicate with any other coach. Right. You know, the fact that Deion comes to town, you got young Jeezy come speak to the kids. You got T.I. come speak to the kids. Man, ain't no, I don't see Dabo Swinney and anybody else being able to relate to them on that level like that. You can't do it. Can't do it.
Nope. Now they got to have somebody like Deion with them to relate for them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they would go do that. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, to go into that young man's home who looks like him and then obviously have the conversation with his mom. Like you said, there's not a white coach that can go into a black man's home and do that, what Deion did.
Let's get into what Terrell Owens and Hugh Douglas just said. The reason Deion Sanders snagged the #1 recruit in the country is because he's a black man and a white coach cannot pull this off. It is so easy to dispel this notion. Nick Saban has been pulling the top black players in the country for damn near 15 years. Unless he's undergone a skin change in the last 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure Nick Saban's white and has been white for 70 years. Coming out of high school in 2014, Deshaun Watson was ranked as the #1 quarterback in the country. He committed to Clemson and Dabo Swinney, another white coach, recruiting a top black player. Now let's flip the script here. Let's look at other black coaches in college football. Willie Taggart coached at Florida State from 2018 to 2019. The 2018 recruiting class, which also consisted a little bit of Jimbo Fisher, was considered to be one of the best in the country. Willie Taggart goes 5-7 his first season in Tallahassee. The 2019 recruiting class, lowest ranked for Florida State since 2007. They ranked 21st. Herm Edwards, he's been at Arizona State since 2018. Herm Edwards is more high profile than Willie Taggart. Coached in the NFL for 8 years. He was one of the analysts on ESPN for years after that. Herm Edwards had a little bit of name recognition. In 4 years at Arizona State, he has never had a top 20 recruiting class. He's never signed the number 1 recruit in the country. 24/7 Sports, they are predicting the 2022 class at Arizona State will land last place in the Pac-12. Now, to be fair, there is an NCAA investigation going on right now at Arizona State that is definitely having an impact on recruiting. But Herm Edwards wasn't hitting home runs in recruiting before the investigation. Now, using the logic of Hugh Douglas, Terrell Owens, this doesn't make sense. Here you have 2 black men who speak the language of young black men. They supposedly relate to them better than the Nick Sabans, the Dabo Sweeneys. Now, with that being the case, how come Herm Edwards and Willie Taggart aren't bringing in all-star recruits? Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that race plays no factor in college recruiting. Race can play a factor, just like it can play a factor in just about every situation in life. But in this particular case, race might play a factor when everything else is equal. Bringing in young Jeezy and T.I. during the season, that doesn't have shit to do with this. All coaches bring in motivational speakers that relate to their players. Dabo Sweeney's brought in Charles Barkley and Darryl Strawberry in the past. Nick Saban has brought in Ray Rice. If I had to guess, he's likely had former Alabama players like Mark Ingram or Julio Jones come in. Who the hell knows? All coaches do this. It's not something specific to Deion Sanders. So how was Deion Sanders able to grab the number 1 recruit in the country? Is it because he's black and Travis Hunter is black? No. It's because he's Deion Sanders. Put Herm Edwards or Willie Taggart at Jackson State, Travis Hunter ain't going there. Deion Sanders is the best cover corner in the history of the NFL. He's prime time. He's charismatic. He's a superstar. He's had reality TV shows. He's been covering the NFL on television since he retired. Guess what position Travis Hunter plays? Same as Deion Sanders, cornerback. If you're an 18-year-old kid with dreams of playing in the NFL and you're a corner, what better person to learn from than the best corner in the history of the league? Deion Sanders might not have the coaching cachet of Nick Saban, but in terms of star power, he's on the same level. In college football, the head coach is the star. That's why you see major programs go after big-name coaches or coaches whose stars on the rise. Urban Meyer left Florida, Ohio State, Jacksonville under bad circumstances. Next year, once everything blows over, he could land a job at another major college football program. Why? Because he's Urban Meyer. Now, while race may have played a little bit of a role in Travis Hunter foregoing D1 football to play at Jackson State, it's only because the playing field was level. It's only because Deion Sanders is Deion Sanders. If Deion Sanders were white and had the same qualifications, was the best corner in the history of the NFL, he still would have had a chance to sign Travis Hunter. Just because you're white and the kid is black, it doesn't mean you can't relate to each other. Hell, Kevin Sumlin was a rising star in college football, had success at Houston, was the 2012 SEC Coach of the Year at Texas A&M. He goes to Arizona in 2018, never had a recruiting class ranked above 56th. Using T.O.'s logic, this doesn't make sense. Kevin Sumlin is black. He should relate to young black players. But Kevin Sumlin ain't Nick Saban. He's not Dabo Sweeney. Pete Carroll was one hell of a recruiter when he was at USC. It was not the skin color of Deion Sanders that attracted Travis Hunter. It was the fact that he's Deion Sanders. All right, let me know what you guys think. Did Travis Hunter commit to Jackson State because Deion Sanders is black? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.